What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss this Saturday's main event between Cory Sandhagen and Deiveson Figueiredo. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly and help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it. Deiveson Figueiredo, Cory Sandhagen, this Saturday. Pretty sweet matchup, pretty sweet main event. Both guys coming off of losses, but I mean, these guys, I mean, you have Figgy, the former flyweight champion, big superstar name, Cory Sandhagen, who is like the people's champ of the bantamweight division. That just goes to show, though, like how deep of a division 135 truly is when you have guys like Figueiredo and Sandhagen, and yet they're still ranked like 3, 4, 5. It's a pretty deep division. And even though, like, I don't think this fight has title implications, right? Because they're both coming off of losses. You have Sandhagen coming off the loss to Umar, and you have Figgy coming off of the loss to Peter Yan. And I think that, with Peter Yan also kind of being in the weird position that he is, he had the long layoff after kind of being on that weird losing streak. He came back, beat Figgy in a great fight. It showed that he was back on track, but I think that he's still one big fight away. There was some weird rumor I saw with him fighting Marcus McGee that I thought was a bit strange, but nonetheless, I think this fight, the winner of this fight, could be the sweepstakes of a rematch with Peter Yan, because as you guys know, Sandhagen and Yan fought for an interim title years back, where Yan got the best of Sandhagen. So I think that this fight could be a sweepstakes to a rematch with Peter Yan, and then maybe even that fight, the rematch with them, can be a title eliminator fight. Maybe you can get the winner of Sean and Marab 2, or the winner of the fight after that, if because I'm thinking a year ahead here. And but in this fight on Saturday, though, Sandhagen, who's just an absolute ninja, right, moves like water. He can hit you anywhere. Flying knee knockouts, spinning wheel kick knockouts. He's got good submissions. He's got an armbar against Mario Bautista back in the day. His fight with Song Yadong, he gets dirty, and he is just, when it comes to like a mixed martial artist, he's the mold that you want to fit, of like a guy who's going to go out there and put on an entertaining show, a spectacular knockout, explosive, athletic, good takedown defense. And then you got Figueiredo, the god of war, the former champ, going up weight classes after you could just tell the weight was just too much for him. It was just too much for, he would be probably the best in the world for about 5 minutes, then he'd quickly fade, right? At 37, I think that at a 5-round fight here against Cory, I think that is going to be the difference here. I think that with what we saw with Umar and Cory, because Cory in that fight was he was stuffing those takedowns of Umar early on. He was fighting more as a defensive guy. He was very hesitant in opening up, and you would probably expect, I think he was also expecting Umar to kind of fade as the fight went on, but Umar never faded. And then Cory was like, well, fuck, like, he really just had no answer for the relentless pressure of Umar in that fight, because he just was not going away. And Cory, he was trying to open up, but he just wasn't hurting him with anything. He wasn't really able to find any of those power shots. But I think here against Figgy, because I think Figgy, he's definitely going to have to change levels, utilize his grappling, which, I mean, very high level, great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu by Figueiredo, great ground and pound as well once he's on top position. But I think that, if he does find success early, which I'm not really sure, because Cory, he has like that height, length, and leverage that can be used really well to stuff the takedowns of Figueiredo. And I think as rounds 3, 4, and 5, I think with the age, the previous cardio issues that you have with Figgy, because I think even going up at 35, he's still like a muscular dude. I think that we're going to see him fading on rounds 4 and 5 if he's still there, if he's actually like not too concerned about the gas tank. Because I do have to give credit to Figueiredo, his fight with Cheeto. We saw a different guy in the sense of his aggression and his use of his cardio, right? He was smarter on how he utilized his gas tank. So if he does that with Sandhagen, we could see him carry that cardio maybe in the rounds 4 and 5, but I think the history kind of has the writing on the wall. Being 37, he has issues. He's so explosive. A lot of guys who are that explosive, they have issues going on later on in the fight. So I think, early on, it's going to be very competitive. It's going to be a dogfight. But I think rounds 4 and 5, I think we're going to see Cory Sandhagen just start to pull away with it. But I'm really curious to see, because that last fight, he was very hesitant to really pull the trigger against Umar. But again, I think that's just because he was really waiting for Umar to kind of fade, and he just never did. But nonetheless, I'm excited for this fight. I think Cory's going to get it. I don't know if it's going to be by knockout or by submission, but I think definitely decision for Cory Sandhagen. But Figgy was world champion for a reason. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think in this fight, in this main event? Do you guys have Figgy? Do you guys have Cory Sandhagen? Love to hear your guys' thoughts. That's going to do it for today, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.